Engines rumbled in the underground garage of the Halston Dynamics Tower in Phoenix, Arizona. Fluorescent lights flickered as a lone black Harley rolled in, chrome glinting like a quiet threat in the concrete gloom. On it rode Miguel Reyes, 62 years old, a night janitor in a faded blue uniform, a Vietnam-era dog tag tucked under his shirt, and a battered silver watch on his wrist. If you enjoy powerful biker justice stories, hit subscribe and ring the bell right now. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Type respect if you believe you should never judge a person by their job or their clothes. Every night, Miguel cleaned the same glass hallways where executives in tailored suits strutted by day. He was a widower, a retired Army Staff Sergeant, and a former member of the Iron Guardians, a veteran biker club that rode charity runs for fallen soldiers' families. Most people just saw the janitor. They never saw the calloused hands that had once patched up bleeding comrades under fire. On the top floor, CEO Brent Halston, 42, admired his reflection in the corner office window. He wore a watch worth more than Miguel's annual salary, a sleek European machine gleaming on his wrist. He loved power, loved attention, and tonight, at the quarterly leadership meeting, he wanted laughs. Near midnight, Miguel pushed his cart into the executive conference room to start cleaning. The meeting had run late. A half circle of managers and the HR director, Angela Cole, 38, were still there. Finishing coffee, Miguel nodded politely and started wiping down the table, the battered old watch sliding down his wrist. Its scratched face catching the LED lights, Brent's eyes locked on it. He smirked. "Hey, Reyes," the CEO said loudly so everyone could hear. "That watch yours, or did we pull it out of a lost and found from 1975? A few managers chuckled, eyes dropping to their phones. The tension in the room thickened. Miguel froze for half a second, then straightened. "Yes, sir, it's mine." Brent leaned back in his chair, spinning his expensive watch like a trophy. "Man, you clean a Fortune 500 building and still wear a piece of junk like that? We should start a GoFundMe so our janitor can tell time." Laughter this time louder. Miguel's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. He just kept wiping the table, the smell of cleaning solution mixing with the sting of humiliation. From the corner, Angela watched carefully. She had worked in human resources for 12 years. She knew that cruelty often hid behind jokes. As Miguel reached for a discarded file folder, his sleeve slid higher, revealing the back of the watch. For a brief moment, Angela caught a glimpse of something engraved there. A name, a rank, a date. Her heart skipped. No, it couldn't be. "All right, meeting adjourned," Brent said, still grinning. "Remember, people, we're a company of excellence. Appearance matters." Miguel quietly pushed his cart out of the room, footsteps echoing in the hallway like a slow retreat. Angela stayed behind. When everyone else had gone, she opened her laptop and typed in a familiar name. Captain Robert Halston, killed in action, Kandahar, Afghanistan. 2009 Bronze Star with Valor. She knew the file. She had seen it years ago, when the company had honored Brent's older brother at a memorial ceremony. Little did they know. The junk watch on the janitor's wrist matched the citation in the records. The next morning, an emergency all-hands meeting was called. In the auditorium, employees filled the rows, murmuring. On the stage stood Brent, trying to look confident, and Angela holding a small black box. Behind them, the big screen showed a paused image of a silver watch. "Before we start," Angela said into the mic, voice steady, "we're going to talk about something more important than profits." The room quieted. "This," she pointed to the screen, "is the watch worn every night by our janitor, Staff Sergeant Miguel Reyes, United States Army, retired age 62. 2 tours in Afghanistan, 1 Bronze Star." Whispers spread across the room. Brent's smile twitched and vanished. Angela opened the black box and lifted out Miguel's watch. Miguel himself stood off to the side of the stage, uncomfortable in a borrowed blazer, his biker boots still peeking out beneath his pants. Angela turned the watch over and read the inscription out loud. "To Staff Sergeant Miguel Reyes, for dragging me out of the fire when no one else could. Your brother in arms, Captain Robert Halston, 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment." The entire room went silent. Everyone froze. Brent stared at the watch, color draining from his face. His hands, so used to holding power, suddenly looked small. The man he had mocked had saved his brother's life on a dusty Afghan road years before his death. Angela let the silence linger, heavy and undeniable. "This is the piece of junk our CEO ridiculed last night," she said quietly. "This is what we call respect, the kind our company claims to stand for." Then she turned to Miguel. "Sergeant Reyes, on behalf of Halston Dynamics, we owe you an apology and a thank you we can never fully repay." Brent stepped forward, eyes wet, voice cracking. "Miguel, I was wrong. I'm sorry. For the joke, for not asking, for not seeing you." Miguel looked at him for a long moment, then nodded once. "Respect is earned, sir," he said softly, "just like trust." In the weeks that followed, Miguel's story spread through the building. The company created a veterans scholarship in Captain Robert Halston's name, with Miguel as honorary chair. The janitor was still the janitor, by choice, but now every executive who passed him in the hallway looked him in the eye. Most evenings, as the sun dipped low, employees could hear the roar of a Harley echoing from the garage. Miguel would roll out, leather vest under his uniform, Iron Guardian's patch glowing like a quiet badge of honor. Some uniforms never come off. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And type respect in the comments if you believe no one is just a janitor, a biker, or anything else. Everyone carries a story you haven't read yet.